attention to. So just simple, start out. Doesn't have to be pretty. Lift your knees high, roll those knees up and around. You're all alone, right? In your family room, so it doesn't matter what you look like. I'm the only one looking like a fool here. Up and around, up and around. 10 or 15 more times. Biggest circles you can. Lift your knees way up high. Open up. And then after a few more of these, we'll end up with nice wide legs. Work on some squats. So open up your feet wide. Turn your toes out a little bit. Doesn't have to be huge. You put your hands on your thighs to start and just down and up. After a few, where we let our hips get loose. Maybe the first few you lean forward, but after that, try to be a little bit more upright. Drive yourself back up through the balls of your feet in. Your heels don't just favor insides or outsides of your feet or your toes. Try to use the whole entire foot. So let's go here for 5 more. One more time. And then come on down low. This could get a little bit ugly, but bring your hands up onto your hips. You can hang your head. Let some of that weight come up into your shoulders. You can start to lower down. Even move your body side to side. Give the hips a couple breaths to open, to loosen up. And then we're going to take the hands away. Take the work into your legs, into your core. If you reach the arms straight up. Wiggle your toes a little bit. Upright your chest, your spine as much as you can. Press through your feet. It's almost like you're trying to lift the ceiling up with your hands. Another breath here. And then a few pulses. Thighs should be getting nice and warm. And then go ahead and stand right up. Turn the toes forward, soften your knees, and go ahead here and hang your nice, easy forward fold. Any kind of movement that feels good. Sway a little bit. You can make it more a ragdoll. Grab opposite elbows and sway. Take one more big deep breath. And then place your hands down on the mat and walk yourself over to your left side. We'll move down into a nice easy lizard lunge. So my hands are both inside of my foot. Gently lower the back knee and just take your time leaning into this. After a few breaths, when that hip flexor has a chance to stretch in the quad, maybe you can lean forward or you can come to your fingertips, upright your chest. And then tuck the back toes, spin right through the center. Let's see if we can take a deeper forward fold this time. Reach around anywhere you can grab on the back of your legs. Do a little more pulling. And then walk your hands over to the right side of your mat. Both hands inside of the right foot and gently, slowly lower into this lunge. Eventually lowering your back knee toward the floor. You can hang your head for a few breaths. It might feel good on the back of your neck to let that go. Or if your hips are stretched out, you can move into that hip flexor, upright your chest. Even rise to your fingertips. Those toes. And one more time to the center of your mat. Wide leg, forward fold. Give those legs a pull. If the forward fold's getting easy for you, you can lift your heels up, slide your hands right underneath your heels, roll your weight onto the balls of your feet, and pull harder with your arms. Release that grip. Press your right hand into the mat. Lift your left arm up. Take a twist. It's all right here if you displace the hips a little bit, if you roll a little more weight into one side or the other. Just trying to get bored, trying to loosen things up. Should feel nice. Lower that arm, lift the other. And then forward fold once again. This time push off the floor, reverse swan dive, lift all the way to the top wide and grab one wrist with the other hand and take a deep side bend. Use your bottom arm to pull that top and take it over the other way. And then lift up, bring your hands right behind your head this time, push the hips and thighs forward, easy back bend. And then lift from there. Give those shoulders another shrug, heel toe your feet a little closer. This time sit down toward a malasana squat. So that same squat we were working on before, yours might look a little something like this. You might not be able to get your heels down on the ground, or if you can, great. I need a second here to make my hips a little bit looser. Rock a little weight side to side, but eventually that malasana squat looks like elbows to the insides of your knees or your thighs, flat feet on the ground, chest lifted tall. So we can spend a few breaths, or a few minutes actually a day in this posture, a great hip opener without having to do all the other stuff. So if you're a more advanced yogi and hips aren't that closed up, you want to add a little more, you can always bring your hands forward, move those knees up onto your upper arms and go for the arm balance, the crow. That's always an option rather than malasana squat. But then we'll all come out of where we are and take one more forward fold. And then reach up to the sky from this one. And I'm going to turn myself sideways, a little easier for you to see as we practice here. So from mountain pose, palms forward, shoulders down and back. Just set up your breath. Shut your eyes for a few breaths. On your next inhale, reach your arms to the sky. On an exhale, forward fold, knees soft, hands to the floor or to your shins. Press into the floor of your shins, long, flat back, and then fold yourself forward. Reach back up to the sky on an inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Press your hands into your shin to the floor, long back. We'll plant our hands and take a walk back to high plank. And take a second here to set this up. Shoulders over knuckles, strong body. As we warm ourselves up, lower your knees, your chest, your chin, and cobra. Releasing down and take a seat back in child's pose. Roll back up to all fours. Cats and cows, rounding and extending along with your breath. And because our focus today is hips, once you come to neutral spine from your cats and cows, take a leg up and out to the side and just make a few circles. Try to feel that in your hips. Notice how big you can go, work to the edges here, both directions, and then take that over to the other side. Just some circles with the knees, spine is long and neutral. Core is engaged. From there, take one foot right out to the side. Go ahead and sit back half of a child's pose. You can sit back on your opposite heel, reach your arms forward, hang your head toward the floor. And then as you rise up to here, back onto all fours, lift up the right hand and take that arm onto your body, thread the needle, reach across the room, rest the side of your face on the mat. Hand that still down, that left hand can stay pushing into the ground. It could lift up in the air, roll your wrist, pump your fingers, or thread that arm behind your back. Try to really fill your lungs. Sometimes in twists, it becomes hard to breathe, or we shorten the breath and restrict the breathing. So breathe full and deep. And then releasing from there, back to the center. You can work on some core strength here if you engaged strong, and pop this leg up and off the mat. Try to stay as square as you can, maybe a few pumps of the leg, or even extend and bend, extend and bend, extend and bend, then lower that one down. And we'll slide the right foot out to the side. Take a second here to sit back on your heel. And half child's pose, so you can reach your arms forward, pull your bottom back. And then slide forward again to all fours position. Left arm lifts, open up, twist, and thread the needle. Bring this arm under your body, reach across. And the right hand that's still down here on the floor can push, or it could lift up. It could bind behind. Make the twist the most important part here, along with your breath. And then unwind, square things up, strong core, square shoulders. Pull your abdominal muscles aiming up and try to raise that outside leg. Square the shoulders, pulse a few times, or extend, bend. And then eventually slide that foot back in. From here we'll go to downward dog. Again, hips and hip opening is what we're working on. Go ahead and take your right leg up in the air. Bend and stretch, bend and stretch. And then bend your knees, scorpion tail. Start to stack your right hip above the left hip. You can even look up over your left shoulder, find that foot back there. But with your right foot, spread the toes out as wide as you can. We're just going to take a few taps of the ball of our foot to the outside of the mat. So take a step like you're lunging forward and then scoop that leg back. Let's do 4 more. 4. One more. I'm going to leave this last one. Hold it out there. So my foot is off the mat, but I'm going to swirl my heel onto the mat and lower the back knee. And then just take a second here. Use my right hand. Give that thigh a push. Gaze over your right shoulder. You can roll onto the outside edge of your right foot. I know some of you are super flexible. You could bend up the left knee, reach back with your right hand, find the bind. Not important, but if that works for you, for your body, take it. And then use your right hand to join or press your toes forward again. Curl the left foot back, and then step back to down dog. Wiggle and move a little bit. You're not stuck anywhere. Those bodies need to move. Adjust how you need to. Left leg lifts, and the knee. Scorpion tail, bend and stretch. And then keep it bent for a few breaths. You might look over your right shoulder, see the toes there. Spread the toes, and then 5 times a tap and a scorpion tail. Just like a big lunge outside of your mat. You're not trying to step on the mat. Number 5 is going to stay out there. Once he gets there, lower the right knee. Spin your heel onto the mat. And then pull your heart, your chest forward. You can roll right on the outside edge of this foot. You don't want your ankle to do funny things, so try to keep that in line. Look over your shoulder. Give that knee a push back. Option to reach back. Bind with your back leg. Heart open. And then coming out of there, use your hand to square that foot forward again. Plant the hand and take a step back. Down dog. Let's take 3 breaths right here, letting your legs stretch, pushing through the floor with your hands. Upside down V with your body. And then raise your heels high, roll forward, high plank, and then vinyasa your way. You can always do the knees, chest, chin variation, or chaturanga, upward dog, downward dog. We'll pick up the right leg, reach it to the sky, right knee toward your nose or your chin 4 times. Exhale as you pull in, inhale as you reach. Take one more. Step the right foot forward to warrior 1. So right foot plants, your back foot grounds down, arms rise. If you look at warrior 1 head on, the heels are almost lined up. Your right knee's pointed forward, your back toes are pointed up toward the front corner of your mat. It's a deep bend in your front knee, back leg is long and straight. What you want to make sure of is that your right knee is not knocking inward or outward, but stay here. With each breath you take, try to get a little deeper. Maybe stretch the sides of your body a little bit more. And a few times just pull the elbows back down behind you, stretch out through your chest and your shoulders. We'll take one more. At the bottom of this one, can you join your hands together behind you, full bind? And then open up your heart, back bend. From here, chin to chest, humble warrior. You're trying, do it forward. You're gonna try to bring your right shoulder just inside of your right knee, right thigh. And everything about warrior 1 remains the same. We don't take that shoulder and push the knee way out to the side or let it knock in on us. You want it pointed straight ahead. Your eyes are open. You're gazing at the arch of your back foot. And then go ahead and lift right up out of there. Arms reach to the ceiling. And then you can put your hands down on the floor, step back to the high plank position, and finish up chaturanga, upward dog. Downward dog. Now you go ahead with the left leg, raise the left leg up to the sky. And left knee to nose. 4, reach, use your core strength. 3, and your breath. Big step straight through your thumbs. Warrior 1. Arms rise. And we're just holding here and breathing. But along with your breath, work the depth, work the foot placement, square hips, long arms, sideways stretching. And then pull your elbows behind your back, stretch. Reach, big W's with your elbows, pull, reach. Do that one more time. On the way down, put your arms around your back. Bind them if you can, knuckles to the floor, heart up to the ceiling. And then humble. We're working to lean forward, heavy head, slide the left shoulder just inside of the left knee or thigh. But don't push the knee side to side, it stays straight ahead. Your breath is steady, maybe even deeper on the exhale, surrender a little bit more. And then rise. Arms reach. Hands lower back to the mat. Vinyasa. High plank, low plank. Up dog, down dog. Breathe. So we'll take one more breath here together, and then there's an optional 3 more where you can stay, you could pause, you could go down to child's pose, or you can work the handstand hops or Shakti kicks. If you want that, raise your heels, bend your knees, kick your own bottom a few times. Might find that place where you can hold on to the handstand, get a little air, and then eventually walk your feet up towards your hands and hang heavy. Press your hands into your shins, long back, fold down, reverse swan dive, lift right up to the sky. And then hands to heart, and eventually back to mountain. So balancing, tree pose. Let's put all the weight on your right foot, and bring your left leg up into your thigh. There's a ton of variations of tree pose. You can do it with your foot on your calf. If your balance is really off, you can kickstand the foot down on the ground. You could take the Bikram variation, pull the foot foot up into your hip. Pause there. Does not matter where your arms go. They can reach up high, they can be down by your sides. Just try to find a focal point and some balance and some stillness.
Same thing on the other leg. Find your balance. Pick the leg up to your version of the tree. Find a drishti, a focal point, and an arm variation that works for you. Knee forward and lower it down. Bring hands to heart and sit right back in the chair. So the weight's down into your heels. These are good pants for chair. I can line up my stripes, but try to keep the knees even and the hips even. Hands to your heart. Nice and low. Toes should be able to wiggle here, and if you're going to go anywhere, just fall straight backwards. Push yourself to the edge a little bit. Take a twist. Elbow to the outside of your thigh. Working to keep the knees and the hips even. And then lift, go right to the ceiling, open up your heart, take a back bend. And down again to chair. Press the knees and the thighs together and take your twist the opposite way. Back to the sky. So we'll balance again, but this time in figure 4. If figure 4 doesn't work for you, you can take tree again. So stand on one leg, you're going to pick the opposite leg up, cross it in front of your thigh, just like a number 4. Arms reaching to the sky. We're going to work this time on sitting down toward the chair. So you'd love for your hip and your bum to be the same height, 90-degree angle, with your chest as upright as possible. Dig deep there. Try to sink a little bit lower, but lift your chest even higher. Give it another breath. You should feel the openness in the hip, the stretch in the hip, and then rise back up. And once you're there, shake it out, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. So cross the foot over, arms to the sky, and sit back. Chest lifts up toward the ceiling. Hands can stay there. They can be at prayer, whatever works best for you, but try to really work the hips the same height as the knee, just like your chair. And taking time here to get this hip to open up, to stretch. And then lift. So lower that leg. Front side of your mat, reach your arms to the sky. A little bit different this time. Forward fold. Inhale, long flat back. So a couple options. You could go to crow. You could have your feet down and make your way toward the Malasana squat that we were working on before. So either variation, if you're working on crow, try to hold this for a minimum of 3 breaths. Remember, your fingertips have to work in an arm balance. You have to lean forward and get those fingers working, just like your toes would. And then from here, you can shoot back and finish your vinyasa. Or if you're in the Malasana squat, take a forward fold, and then walk, step, or hop back. We'll all meet here in down dog. And we'll go with the right leg lifting to the sky, bend the knee, scorpion tail, step the right hip over the left. And then right knee, right elbow, 3, scorpion, 2. This is the last one. Hold it here. Step your foot outside of your right hand. Lower the back knee to the floor. We're here in the warm-up. Into the lizard lunge. Both hands are inside of the right foot. Chest is tall. Now we're just going to change it by tucking the back toes, straightening the back leg, really reaching the top of your head forward. So if the floor feels far away, you put blocks underneath it, whatever you've got. If you feel like you could go lower, you could always bring the forearms to the ground. And just work on opening up the hip there. And take 3 more breaths. I know some of you are awesome arm balancers, and if that's you and you wanted to add that arm balance from the lunge position, if you pull the right foot up into your belly button and lean forward, you can pick that back leg up and off the mat. Flying lizard. Then plant both hands and step back to down dog. And now we'll do that with the left leg. Raise the left leg up in the air. Scorpion tail. Left knee, left elbow. 3. If you're getting your elbow lifted up higher, the tricep, or even the armpit, this is the last one. Hold it here. And then your foot goes outside of your hand. And for the first few breaths, lower the back knee down. Lift your heart toward the sky. And then we'll amp it up a little bit. Tuck the back toes. Power up that back leg, long and strong. Maybe either put your hands on blocks. If you have the flexibility to lower to your forearms, go there. But keep the length. Reach the top of your head forward. Reach your heel back. If you're interested in the arm balance, lean forward. Pull your left heel up into your belly button. As you lean, start to lift up that back leg. Flying lizard. And then step right back to down dog. So we'll flip the dog, raise the right leg in the air, bend the knee, here's your scorpion. If you can look over your left shoulder, you see your toes there, and considering getting lighter and lighter and lighter on your right hand, lowering the foot to the floor, and opening up, wild thing, flip the dog. On your way back over, use your muscles, don't use momentum, go slow and steady. Plant the right foot on the ground and shift to a high plank. We'll go side plank. The wider your feet are in side plank, it's a little bit easier. Closer legs are harder, right hand under your heart. And turn yourself to the sidewalk. So if your legs were further apart, you'd have your surface area spread out, or you can always put the bottom knee on the ground. And then we'll flip this right back, high plank, and finish the vinyasa, chaturanga, up dog, down dog. And then we'll do that on the left leg, raise the left leg, bend the knee, here's the scorpion, take a peek over your shoulder. And then left knee, left elbow, maybe we already did that. There's a few more, one more. Scorpion tail, flip the dog, look over your right shoulder, gently lift the left hand, flip the foot, and breathe. And when you come over, go slow. Be the last one that comes back, not the first one. We'll move it to high plank. Then wide legs for the side plank, make it a little easier. Closer legs is harder, or left knee down on the mat. Side plank. High plank, vinyasa, chaturanga, up dog, down dog. Raise your heels, bend your knees, look forward, walk, step or hop to the front edge of your mat. Heavy head. It's time to pull your feet apart a bit. Bend your knees, grab the big toes, elbows to the side walls, gorilla. Release the grip, press your hands into your shins, lengthen your back, fold deep and lift right up to the sky. So you can come to the long edge of the mat like I am. Open up your feet nice and wide and just start to lunge side to side. Doesn't matter which way you go, doesn't matter how slow, how fast, how deep you go. Pay attention to your hips, your knees. So if you have the ability to go way down low and big waterfall lunges, you can go there. Let's go so that the right knee is the bent knee, hand on the ground, and just walk your hands forward and surrender. Maybe you can lift up the left toes. And then walk yourself over to the other side and do the same thing there. Hand in hand. And bring yourself back to the center. From that forward fold with really wide legs, lift your arms all the way up to the sky. And then set yourself up so you're in warrior two. Doesn't matter which way you're facing, we're going to do it both ways. So warrior two, front knee bent 90 degrees. Your eyes are looking over your front hand, arms are wide, but your chest is over your hips. Your shoulders are over your hips, and everything is stacked. I'll just take it to the other side. Come up and take warrior two the other way. See if you can get a little bit deeper. And up. So give each one a breath. And go to the other side, build a little bit of heat, get the hips stretching. And now take the lunge one more time, or the warrior two, one more time. And when you come to the center, we'll add the lunge. And go back the same way. Warrior two, lunge, warrior two. Listen to your breath. Flow right along with the rhythm of your breath. Let's stay low. And then there's a chance to work on the balance to half moon or full moon. So you can walk your hands right along to the front of your foot. And open up your body so it's all facing the wall that's in front of you. Flex back foot, fingers reaching to the sky. Your hand could be on a block. You might be able to hover the hand up and off the floor. And then rise. And take a nice deep squat here. Lift up, and we'll go warrior two to the opposite side. And that same moving meditation, warrior two to lunge. Warrior two to lunge. Let's go two more. And then move down into the lunge. And hold for a few breaths. And then looking over those front toes, half moon or full moon. Hand down, really strong back leg. You've got to push it through the wall that's behind you, reach your top arm to the sky. Press the foot right through the wall. Stack shoulder over shoulder, hip over hip. Lift yourself back up. And let's finish up here with Malasana squat one last time. Or crow. You can take the crow if you'd rather. Put one hand down on the ground, lift the other one up if you're in Malasana squat. Stretch. Feel the length of your spine, and then switch that. And when you do that again, you can wrap your arm around the front leg and lift. This time it becomes more of a twist. You can even wave to the wall behind you. Come around for a full bind or half of a bind. the heels back, forward fold. Bend your knees, cross your arms, sway if you can. And then sit right down on your bottom, reach one leg out front, bring the other foot into your thigh. Chest tall, you're gonna sit up tall. Let's go straight down the center instead of over to the foot. Walk your hands forward, let your head hang. And then walk back in and do that on the other side. Foot out, doesn't have to be straight out in front of you, off to the side is good, but walk your hands straight out in front of you. And then in. So now let's put the first leg straight out in front and either go to that very same place, or if your hips are a little bit more open, you could take your foot on top of your thigh bone. Your foot has to be straight. It can't be caved in at the ankle. Very firm, right there onto the top of that leg. And now toward the toe. So you're either back where you were, just with a straight leg out in front of you, or foot up on top of the thigh. Walk your hands forward, let the head hang. And then walk back in. We're gonna do the same stretch one more time. If you have a lotus pose, or you feel pretty flexible in the hip, you can bring your foot all the way into your belly, into your hip. And like right now, I can see the bottom of my foot. If that's an option for you, you can pull it way into your hip and do the stretch one more time. You can even take the same arm as leg, bring it around, try to grab your toe back here for half lotus, half bound, half lotus, and then forward fold. This leg out, pull the foot inside of the thigh, one foot's forward, foot's inside of the thigh, or flex foot right on top of your thigh bone, trying to let the knee get heavy toward the floor. Stay active, walk your hands forward, let your head hang. And then walk this back in. One more stretch, just the same as the last one, or in that locust, pull your foot all the way in so it's up in your hip and you can see the bottom of it. If that works for you, you can fold forward there. You can bring the same arm around as leg and fold here. And then the last place we'll go before we actually lie down is either down angle, bottoms of both feet together. So yours might look a little something more like this. If you have tight hips, you do not have to push your knees down to the ground. If your feet need to be way out in front of you, that's fine. I'd like your top priority to be that you can sit up tall with good posture. So you could be here. You can lean forward. You can always tuck your elbows into your ankle creases. Lots of versions. Or if you were able to get that locust pose that we were just working on, the half where your foot was way up at your thigh, then you could do full locust. You would bring both legs up there. And pause here with open hips, or even bind that whole thing, reach around for both big toes. You can fold forward on this one, but do what works for you. So either locust or bottoms of your feet together, down angle, back. Our hips are a place where we push a lot of stress. Usually when we're first stressed, we take things up into our shoulders and we see that, it's obvious. But then beyond that, the stuff we kind of push down and suppress usually heads toward our hips. That's why a lot of us have tight hips. Also just things that we do on a daily basis, or the exercise routines we have. So pay attention, give your hips some time. Let's just finish this up on the ground, on our backs. crossing over the other thigh back into that figure four. Wrap your hands around the back side of your thigh and stretch. And then release, go the other way. So this is the end of the video, but doesn't mean that you have to finish up right here. You can add on any other videos that we've already offered you, work on some drills, or just come back to these postures again and hold them a little bit longer. Release, give both knees a squeeze one more time. And then you can work towards Shavasana. Nice peaceful rest. Or you can keep going, do a little bit more.